Hello and welcome back to the Villa View. First off, I want to say that I hope all our subscribers had a great Christmas and spent some wonderful time with their friends and their family. But now all that's over and it's on to the important stuff, which is Aston Villa at home to Burton on Boxing Day. First off, the fact that we're even playing Burton in a league match shows the absolute disastrous consequences of Randy Lerner's reign as Aston Villa owner and chairman. I don't think in my lifetime that we'd ever be playing Burton Albion in a league game, but in a way it's a massive well done to them for how well they've done to get into the Championship. But for us, it really is a reality check that we find ourselves in the same league as our relatively local rivals. We come off the back of a 1-0 win against QPR just over a week ago. Obviously I was at that game. Although we didn't play well, it was just important that we pulled any kind of win after losing the previous game to Norwich. I feel like we've harped on about this a lot on the Villa View, and Villa fans probably in general have, but the need for us to go on a massive run again, because we've already had a 7 or 8 game unbeaten run under Bruce, is paramount. But what we actually haven't managed to do yet is really win consecutive games on the bounce under Bruce, and for us now, that is the important thing. It's a must-win game, as it always is for us, pushing towards the playoffs, and we need to make use of players like Kodja and Ayew whilst they are still here, and really in general it's about time that Ayew made an impact. We're obviously going to miss Kodja's goals when he's away. He's going to be a massive miss, but whilst we've got him, it's important that we make use of him and that he bangs in a couple of goals for us before he leaves. It looks like there's going to be a bumper crowd at Villa Park on Boxing Day, and that's great, and it promises that it will be a really, really good atmosphere. I mean, I think Burton are bringing between 2,000 or 2,500, so that means there'll be around 40,000 Villa fans there to roar the boys on. You can't knock that level of support. That level of support is unbelievable. Yes, it's Boxing Day and football fans look forward to Boxing Day games in general. I'm not sure what Bruce is going to do rotation-wise, because I think with another game 3 days later, it is important that he does rotate the squad. I mean, he rotated it fairly heavily in the last game against QPR, and I think it would be harsh for Bacuna to be taken out of the team, because I think he came in and did okay, probably not in his favourite position in left midfield, but I thought he did quite well. Kodja playing through the middle obviously scored, and I'd like to see that stay that way, but I've got a feeling that once again we may see him moved out wide. I expect Grealish to come in probably from McCormack, who didn't offer as much in the last game, but then as I've said before, we need McCormack to get a run of games so he's fully fit whilst the African nations players are away. So it's a bit of catch-22, because I think Grealish probably is the more formed player at the moment and more likely to unlock a Burton side who I think won't actually come and try and defend. I think that they've scored a few goals, that they like to attack when they can, but obviously an away team always keeps it relatively tight. So I'd expect Grealish to come in for McCormack, and then really I wouldn't be looking at dropping a Doma on the right, so maybe that means that with Bacuna on the left, a Doma on the right, Grealish in behind Kodja, that perhaps Kodja will start up front, but I know people don't like him, and again I understand that. I've got no real massive issue with him at the moment, other than the fact he doesn't look the liveliest when he's on the pitch. But Bruce really is expecting Gabi Agbonlahor to carry the can while the African Cup of Nations players are away, so it wouldn't be a surprise to see him start. It is difficult. I mean, it looks like Rudy Gestede is going to move away, so I'm surprised that he said today that we're not going to sign a striker, but I think he's actually trying to put the pressure on Hepburn Murphy to sign a new deal so that he can be involved while the AFCON players are away. So it's difficult to predict the side. I'd expect Westwood to probably come in for Gardner, because those two seem to rotate. Jedinak's a mainstay. He won't be taken out for either of the 2 games over Christmas, I wouldn't have thought. And the back 4 picks itself, they were monumental against QPR. And although I didn't agree with the selection of Bun over Galini to begin with in QPR, he didn't do much wrong, but I'd prefer Galini to play. But I think it would make sense that he sticks with Bun, because he didn't do anything wrong and he kept a clean sheet and he was relatively dominant, in fact. 2 players that I do want to mention in this preview are James Chester and Nathan Baker. Just the mere presence of having that partnership back against QPR, I think that really helped us, and so having them against Burton is massive, because we look a lot better at the back when we've got those 2 involved. We haven't actually scored that many goals this season. We could do with hitting the net a bit more frequently, because that does put pressure on the defence to keep clean sheets every game, which obviously is never going to happen, so it's not going to happen every time. But those 2 at the back do make a real difference. I'm really pleased for Nathan Baker, because he took some stick about 3, 4, 5 years ago when he first came through, when he first got in the team under Paul Lambert. Perhaps some of it was a bit harsh. He was developing, and I think centre-halves probably do get better. As they get older, they learn to read the game a bit better. And you can see that with Baker. His positioning's spot on. He's always been dominant in the air, so that's good to see that he's continued that. But he is a massive player for us. The problem with Nathan Baker has always been staying fit. But if we can keep him fit, I'm really confident with him and Chester that promotion is possible, because I do think at some point we will hit the ground running attacking wise. It hasn't quite happened yet under Di Matteo or Bruce. We've not hit a massive rich vein of goal scoring form, but I do believe with the players that we've got, it is only a matter of time before it clicks together attacking wise. I think Bruce, there'll always be an element of rotation, but he does need to find his perfect mix in the attacking positions. And I do also think that the January transfer window, even if we don't sign an attacker, we'll potentially sign a left midfielder or a more dynamic box-to-box central midfielder. So I think that will help as well. I think once we get the midfield right, the attack really will click, and that can only be good for Aston Villa, and hopefully we'll make a big push in the second half of the season. Burton have friends of Midlands football in Lloyd Dyer and former Villa Academy graduate Jamie Ward playing for them. They'd be two that you would look at on the flanks as perhaps being danger man. I mean, I remember seeing Jamie Ward score the other week, and obviously having come through the academy and not made it Villa, he'll probably be quite up for the game. One interesting battle will be in the middle of the park, where Millie Ednack is taking on Jackson Irvine. Two Australians up against each other, so that promises to be a tasty battle in the middle of the park. Score prediction wise, I'm going to go for 3-1 Villa. I think that was the score we beat Cardiff by, so I'm going to stick my neck out and say that Villa will win 3-1. It won't be an easy game, but I just think with the special atmosphere under the floodlights that will be there at Villa Park, with probably a full house, it being Boxing Day, I just think we could be about to witness something special, and hopefully the boys will click into gear and haven't eaten too much Christmas dinner the day before. I'm really looking forward to it. I love Boxing Day games. For me, it's not the same Boxing Day if you're not watching the football. So for me, to be at Villa Park, I can't wait. I'm really excited. So yeah, 3-1 Villa. And the key player I'm going to go with for the game against Burton, I'm going to go with Albert Adoma. I think when he plays well, we generally tend to look a lot better. I mean, I think one of his best games was against Brighton. He played really well in that game, and that was probably the team's best performance. So I think if we get him playing his best football, I think the rest of the attacking players may well click into gear as well. And with him being our only genuine wide player, he's one that has to play well 9 times out of 10 for us to be successful. That's it today from the Villa View. Remember, let us know your score predictions below. Do you agree with what I've said? Who do you think are going to be the key players for Villa, and who do you think we need to watch out for from the Burton side of things? Don't forget, please come and speak to us after the game. We're always looking for new people to come and join us for fan cams, and there will be 2 of us doing fan cams for the first time on Boxing Day. It'll be me somewhere and Matt somewhere. We haven't finalised the arrangements yet at time of filming, but stay tuned to our Twitter page, and that information I'm sure will be there for you to see. So come and speak to me and Matt. We'd like to have some more people speak to us, and also the regulars. Thanks for speaking to us as often as you do. It means a lot, and you really provide us with some good content. Please subscribe as always, and please like the video if you can as well. And as always, up the Villa.
If you enjoyed that video, why not watch another one? Click the video choices on screen now to go and watch them in full. And don't forget to subscribe. Click on our logo there on the left and press subscribe. Easy.